Welcome back, guys. In this video, you will learn how to create this flyer design inside Photoshop step by step. Let's begin. Alright, as you can see, I have a document that is 1700 by 2000 pixels. With my rectangle tool, I will just click somewhere on the canvas. Then I'm going to input those dimensions here. Then make sure from center is selected and then hit OK. Now to align everything, press Ctrl+A and then press the V key to switch to the move tool and then click on this button and also click on this button. Now I'm going to click on this empty portion to make sure this layer is not selected. Then I'll choose my ellipse tool. Then on the options bar, I choose subtract from shape. Then select this layer again. Now I'm just going to click somewhere around here and drag like so. Then I'll hold the space bar to move the ellipse around. Now everything looks good, so I'm going to release my fingers. Now currently we have two shapes on the screen, although they fall under one layer. If you choose the path selection tool, you can be able to move this ellipse around just like so. So let's press Ctrl Z to undo that action. And to make these shapes one layer, we need to click on this button again and choose Merge Shape Components. I am going to double click on the rectangle one thumbnail and pick a nice black color. Now I don't actually think we need the background, so let's delete it. And to protect this layer, let us lock it. Now let us press the P key to switch to the pen tool. And let's add a new layer above the existing layer. Since I intend to create a shape, I will make sure I have shape selected from here, not path. Currently the stroke is set to 0, so I'll increase it to 10 pixels. Then I'll also click on this gear icon and enable the rubber band. I'll just click somewhere from the outside here and drag. As I do so, I release these control handles. I will then move to this location and click and drag. Even while dragging, I can still hold the space bar to move the anchor point I just created to another location just like so. Now as you can see, if I move towards this direction, the rubber band direction is Alt. So let's hold the Alt key, that will be the Option key, and just click and drag here to readjust that control handle individually like so. I'll click somewhere around here and drag outward like so. Now I'll hold the Alt key and click on this point and then just come over here and hold the Alt key to make it a straight line there. Of course, you can still modify these individual points with the direct selection tool. On the options bar, let us now enable the fill to this color and make it no stroke. Then select the pen tool again and let us create another shape above this other layer. And let us also reverse the fill and stroke. With the pen tool, press the Ctrl key to reveal the direct selection tool. Just click on this point to highlight the control handle like so. Then hold the Alt key and just click on it to reshape that path. Now I need this other shape to be inside the shape we have created before. So I'm going to come here on the layers panel and add a clipping mask to it. Now let's swap the colors here. So I'm just going to double click on the shape 2 thumbnail and choose this color. Then I'll double click on shape 1 thumbnail and select this color. Let us create another shape right here. I'll just move to the center right here and click and drag. With the Alt key, I'm going to click here to bring this control handle this way. I'll then click somewhere around this portion and drag again. Then with the spacebar, I can be able to redefine that position like so. Then with the Alt key, I'll click here and just move the pen tool here, hold the Alt key and click again. Let us remove the stroke fill and let us click on the fill and choose this color. Now with the move tool, I can be able to select this shape and just move it so slightly like so. Let us select the ellipse tool again, zoom out, and then just create an ellipse from the top. I think that position looks nice, so I'm just going to let go. Now let us switch to this document. As you can see, I have an image I already prepared in advance. So with my marquee tool selected, I'm just going to right click and then choose duplicate layer. Then I'm going to change this option to the untitled document which we are currently working on. Then say OK. Now if I return to this document, we see the duplicated document right here at the top. Let's unlock this layer just once and then bring this layer to the bottom. As you can see, it becomes visible as background layer. Now I'll right click on it and choose convert to smart object. Then I'll press Ctrl T to transform it. As you can see, it is very big. So I'm just going to scale it down. Move it to this corner. Then on the options bar, where my transformation is still active, you can see that the reference point matrix is checked. So I'll just hover here to the middle and move the reference point or the anchor point and snap it to this portion. Then I'll just grab this corner and scale it up like so. Then press the enter key to confirm. Now with this layer selected, I'll hold the shift key and select on the topmost layer. Then I'll press Ctrl G to group them, and I'll just rename it to design or design 01. Now I don't want to move anything on this group by mistake, which is why I'm going to lock the whole group. Then with the ellipse tool, I am going to create an ellipse somewhere around here, then hold the shift key to make it proportional. Then I'll grab my text tool. Then on the options bar, I'm going to choose the Gilroy font. I'll just type in 50% off. Now as we zoom in, you can see that the space between the text is too much. So let's go again here and try to reduce the leading. Just like so. Now I'll select these two text layers, right click and then choose convert to smart object. Now I can be able to press Ctrl T and scale the whole layers down. I'll choose the ellipse tool again and then I'll just create another ellipse here. Hold the shift key to make sure it is a perfect circle, just like so. Then I'm going to change the stroke to white. 10 pixels is okay. And for the fill, let us click on the word fill and choose maybe this color. We are going to replace the fill anyway, so any color will do. Now I'll hold the Alt key while the move tool is active to get this double-headed arrow. Then I'll just drag to create a duplicate like so. Then I'll press Ctrl T and scale the duplicate down. And I'll do the process again. Now let's click on the lock icon here to unlock everything and expand the group just like so. Now I want a copy of this layer, so I'll just press Ctrl J to duplicate it. Then I'll move it outside of that group and place it somewhere around here. Let's close this group and lock it again. Now I'm going to move this layer onto ellipse 2. Let's call this one ellipse 3 and rename this one to ellipse 4. So currently the background layer is above ellipse 2. I will then press Ctrl T to scale it and take it down like so. To make it visible within the ellipse, let's hold the Alt key and add a clipping mask, just like so. I need another copy of it, so Ctrl J to duplicate, and this time I'll move it above ellipse 3. Now for this last circle, let us switch to this other document, and again with any selection tool or the marquee tool active, let's just right click and then choose duplicate layer. Then let's return to this document we are currently working on. Right click on it and choose convert to smart object. For this, I actually want the fresh fruits here to be available within the ellipse. So I'm going to move the layer above ellipse 4, Ctrl T to transform it, and then I'll just move this reference point down here and scale it from this corner like so. I'll move it on top of that corresponding ellipse, confirm the transformation, and then add a clipping mask. Now the second step of the design is complete. Let's put everything in a group. So with the top layer selected, I'm going to shift click on 50% layer, Ctrl G to group everything, and this one should be design 2. Again, let us lock this group. Now with my text tool, I'm going to type the word logo here. Then I already have some custom shapes which I created in advance, so I'm going to go to my custom shape tool. Then on the options bar, I'm going to click on this arrow to bring the groups. I'll expand the cutlery group, and as you can see, I created this icon. So I'm going to double click and just click to draw, and then hold the shift key to make it proportional. Here on the options bar, I want a white fill, and for the stroke, I also want a white fill. I'll then hold the Alt key and duplicate it this way, then press Ctrl T to transform it, right click, and then choose flip horizontal. Now I'm going to select the 2 layers, right click, and then choose convert to smart object. That way I can be able to press Ctrl T and scale them down proportionally. Now I'll select the 2 layers, Ctrl G, and rename the group to logo. And since I don't intend to modify this group, I'm going to lock it. Now I'll just go ahead and add some random text to it to make it more interesting. With my text tool, I'm going to change the font to Edwardian Script. And sample this color. Then just type delicious foods or delicious meals. I'll just scale the text layer up and just move it to this location. Now as you can see, the text is not bold. Even if I double click on the delicious meal thumbnail to select the whole text, and if I click here to review the options, you can see we have just the regular option. Another way to bold text inside Photoshop is to make a fake bold. For that, let us go to the characters panel and then just click on this icon. As you can see, we can make it full italics, which is a French word, or full bold, fake bold for instance, and just click on it. And this is what we get. I'll confirm the transformation. With my text tool again, this time I'll change the font to Leroy. I like this font. And then I'll just type the word Flyer Design. Now I want to make sure this text fits within this portion, so I'm going to hover inside here and move this anchor point or the reference point to this location. Snap it there and then grab it from this corner and just scale it up like so. Then I'll double click on the text to select everything and change the color to white. Then I'll choose my rectangle tool and I'll zoom in further. Then on the options bar, I'm going to change the fill to this fill and make it no stroke. Then I'll just click somewhere around here and just drag like so. Then with my text tool, I'll zoom in and then just click and drag from this portion. Even while dragging with the text tool, you can still hold the space bar and move it to this location. I'm just going to hit the backspace key to get rid of that text. Then I'm going to take the font down to 8. Then I'll go to type and then choose Space Lorem Ipsum. Now as you can see, the tracking is too much. So let's go to the characters panel, double click on this thumbnail to select the whole text layer. And you can see the tracking is set to 80, so let's make it 0. And let us also reduce the leading, just like so. Now I want everything to be aligned from this side, so I'm just going to go to the options bar and click on this button. Then confirm. And I can just take the opacity of that text layer since it is white, just like so. And then adjust the opacity of the flyer design as well. Now let's add the final text and some icons. Then with my text tool, I'm just going to click somewhere around here and just drag like so. I think let's add a dotted rectangle around, so I'll just zoom in again. Then with my rectangle tool, I'll just click from this point. Just like so. And I don't actually need a fill, so let's remove the fill and set the stroke to the same color. Now I'll go to the properties panel and then I'll just click on this button and choose these dashes. Now it is too bright, so I'm going to take down the opacity. And this is how everything looks, guys. Again, let's put everything here inside one group, and I'll just call that group text. Now you can go ahead and import some social media icons, but I have custom shapes, so I'll switch to my custom shape tool, and on the options bar I'll click here and choose the home icon. And let's put everything inside a group. And lock it just like so. And for this half circle right here, I think we can actually reduce the transparency or the opacity to make these items visible. And here's the ellipse. I'll make sure the whole group is unlocked by clicking on the lock icon and then just reduce the opacity. And I feel like the 50% off needs to be bold, so I expand the layer, unlock it, and as you can recall, we converted this as a smart object, so I'm going to double click on it. That will open the ellipse and the layer with the text. So I'm going to double click on the text and make it black, just like so. Then confirm. Now I'll press Ctrl S to save everything within this smart object group, then close it. As you can see, it shows here as well. Alright, so as you can see, this is the design I promised you from the intro. If you have a custom color palette, you can simply arrange the colors to suit the custom color palette that you have. And with these images, you can replace them using your own custom images with the same techniques I've demonstrated in this video. I hope you found it very helpful. If you got value out of it, kindly support the channel by subscribing, and I'm going to see you in the next one tomorrow. Good luck.